We are how far in? Live? Yes. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic morning. I've got my bong here, ready to smoke some of this crazy. Four notifications, five notifications. There's five that were live, five that were live. Michael Goldsmith is here. Five that were live. Michael Goldsmith and Debbie. Debbie Demers, Kara Giannakis. Carol is here with J-Bone. J-Bone. What's up, guys? I like to get all of your good mornings and hellos and hellos. Hey, Love Chance. I like to get your good mornings and your hellos and your hellos. And Alan Mota, good morning. Let's refresh the chat here. Bronco, good morning. I don't want to miss any of you. If you don't see your chat come through on my window, then I did not see it. Remember that. Also, make sure we get this channel up to 26,000 subscribers, guys, on YouTube, the main channel. No, we are not broadcasting that channel right now, so make sure you seek it out, find it, and subscribe to that channel, and let's get me to 26,000 subscribers, okay? That would be great. Let's see how that channel is doing, actually, while I'm talking about it. You'll go to YouTube and just check out my dashboard. They don't call it dashboard anymore. Now they call it studio. H.A. Goodman is so funny. Oh my God. Oh, I can't wait to have him here on Thursday. Oh, so funny what he was saying yesterday. Trump legal team keeping info hidden that could reverse the outcome of every contested state. Oh my goodness. H.A. Goodman, what are you saying? What are you saying over there? All right, let's get over there to my studio, YouTube studio. They used to call it the dashboard. Now it's called the studio. Some Bubba Gum says Michael. Tony Long, it sounds good. Tony Long, hey Brian Hampton. Good morning, Nate. Hope you're having a great one. Thanks, Kelton. 25,859. We are a little bit better. They are subtracting as we add, so you guys have to just hammer away at that and make sure that you are there. 25,859. We are less than 150 subs away from 26,000, guys. If you could just get me those extra people to... Hey, Wisconsin, Tyler Sullivan. What's up, buddy? J-Bone cheers. Austin Jessup says good morning. As promised, I'll be getting this channel back on the 25th. I am smoking some of that crazy that came out of my grow. So let's smoke some, and I can show you guys some of it. It is insane looking bud. Insane. All right, Cyber Style, no law regarding cannabis. Cannabis isn't just for all. Cheers, everybody. Hey, Sean, good morning. Hey, Evan, Austin. Hey, LaRourke, what's up? Yeah, let me show them to you. Crazy, huh? There's a little gnat. It got stuck inside the trichomes there. Look at that. I see a little dead gnat there. Smoking Apollo 13. Sounds good, Brian. Did you find a random plant in your garden? I found 2 random plants in my garden. They just grew naturally, you know, seed from last year's grow, which I didn't find any seeds last year. But, you know, maybe if I went through all that bud and fucking tried to find it, maybe I'd find some seeds in the Pineapple Express, I guess. I have a lot of Pineapple Express, but I guess one of these is a cross on the Pineapple Express, and the other one is a cross on the True Black, and they both got something good. You know, whatever it was probably his AK-47, my neighbor's AK-47. Ah, Christopher, that's awesome. Are you talking about the one from SpaceX? How does it smell, taste? Like dank, awesome cannabis, man. It's fantastic. It's like OG Kush kind of, and it's not harsh at all. Yeah. So I know what half of them are. You know, one of them is half Pineapple Express, and one of them would have to be half uh, Plush Berry 9-pound hammer. You know. I need some of what you got, says Combs Brian. So, very interesting to see what's going on with H.A. Goodman. Last night he was telling his audience, he's talking differently to his audience now. And the facts swirling around the massiveness of this loss for Donald Trump are starting to finally sink in for H.A. Goodman. And as I watched him last night, I realized he's starting to accept it, that Donald Trump lost the election and that's the way it's going to go. And the reason I know is that he's starting to accept it is for something he told his audience last night. He said, the chances are getting slimmer and slimmer that we're going to be able to turn this around. He literally said that last night on his live stream. Now, he did a show. He did an upload. I like to see his uploads. You know, he'll do a late night upload. And he did like a 25-minute something last night. I'd love to watch it with you guys. It says, Trump legal team keeping info hidden that could reverse the outcome in every contested state. Why would they, if they have that information, why would they keep it hidden? That's my first question. Isn't that something you would want to share with everybody?
Ladies and gentlemen, before
get
you
on
listen
it immediately?
to this segment, first of all, hit subscribe. We're on our way to 150.
Hit subscribe. Listen to him. Listen to him.
Then on to 160. Then on to 200,000 subs. As my voice grows, your voice does as well.
That's the way it is for me too, guys.
Not many people
As
are
my
asking
voice grows,
these
your
very basic, simple
voices
questions.
grow. It's a
And
good way to put it, man.
Not many people are addressing the vantage point of both a scorned former Bernie Sanders supporter like myself,
And myself.
who understands what it's like to be cheated.
And me.
So Debbie Wasser and
Him and I
Schultz
share that.
was forced to resign and disgrace the DNC cheated
True.
Bernie Sanders.
Fact.
In 2016, they did him
Fact.
dirty once again in
The
2020
media did too.
in Iowa.
Fact.
And
Fact.
throughout the campaign with Elizabeth Warren making up nonsense.
I love how he starts with
But
facts.
he didn't fight. He doesn't know how to fight.
That's true too.
And now
Facts.
I support President Trump, so the vantage point, not many people have the vantage point of a former Bernie Sanders
That's
supporter. I used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the
That's where
Huffington
he
Post,
loses
the
me.
unofficial
Like,
scribe
oh,
of
you
some of
lost
his most
me.
hardcore voters, according to the Washington
I love
Post.
you, but you lost me.
My articles in the Huffington Post, the Hill Salon, the Jerusalem Post, all went viral. Not all of them, but a great many of them went viral during 2016. Now I've been honored to have been published in the Federalist, a whole bunch of places. But not many people have the vantage point of somebody who understands the DNC cheated Bernie Sanders, and they're pulling a DNC primary on President Trump.
Happy 7-10,
So Debbie
everybody.
Wasserman
No law
Schultz
regarding
resigned.
cannabis. Cannabis
Four
isn't
other
just for all.
Democratic officials
Cheers.
resigned. Why? Why? Why did they resign in 2016? Can you please answer me if you don't believe President Trump has any evidence? Why did they resign? Because Russia infiltrated the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated? Why did Debbie Wasserman Schultz resign? Okay, now that we've asked that question,
Cheers.
President Trump
Craig.
is crushing the Electoral College, dominated on election night. Most countries, Glenn Greenwald just explained in Brazil, they're not counting after Election Day. You count after Election Day and miraculously win! Oh my goodness! Trump was just so unpopular. Well, then why did Democrats lose about, 12 seats in the House, fail to take the Senate? Why did Republicans flip a state legislature? Why did Trump win Georgia? Win, hopefully very soon, but win Florida, Ohio. Why did he do better among non-white voters than any Republican in 60 years? And why did he outperform?
I can answer that.
In urban areas.
Why did he do better among whites than any other president in 60 years? Because more whites voted this year than ever before. All right? There were more people motivated to vote in this election. That's an easily answered question, and he ignores it. Now you know the answer to it. We had a record turnout this year. So, yeah, both candidates got more votes. It's true. It doesn't mean that the majority favored Donald Trump, though. See, and that is a straw man argument.
And why did Biden underperform in urban areas? Every single metropolitan area, city in the country, he underperformed Clinton, except the cities within states that they came back to. It's really interesting. Gosh. And then the ballot rejection rate is...
Why? That's a great question. Because certain areas feel differently about various candidates. Depends on how they feel about that candidate in general. That area is going to be full of a certain kind of person. Maybe they rely on a certain industry. Maybe they were affected heavily by COVID. He doesn't think about that. He doesn't mention that. He never mentions COVID throughout any of this. He never mentions Trump's poor handling of COVID throughout any of this.
A great deal lower this election than...
I haven't heard this yet. I haven't heard this.
That's with a flood of mail-in ballots. Excuse me. So, you have to ask yourself these questions. But get this channel to 200,000.
Oh, Luthier, right on, Brian. I love it. I love it.
And hit subscribe, but not only hit subscribe.
Listen
now.
Listen to him.
Click the notification bell, but please go ahead and subscribe to my newsletter at hagoodman.com. You could read my writing, see my debates.
And I'm talking about Nate's Garden too, guys.
I have H.A. Goodman.
Make sure you subscribe to my big channel on YouTube.
Post.
He says it all the time, and I need to say it all the time.
Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani claims presidential election will be overturned. Now, this is the New York Post.
Okay.
I'm reading this from the New York Post.
Look. He names the source, right? It was just a quote from Rudy Giuliani. So he makes a big deal about the source there. Like, it's from the New York Post. Look what the New York Post says. The New York Post said that Rudy Giuliani says that this election will be overturned. That's from the New York Post, everybody. More straw manning, guys. He's deflecting so hard right there. He's taking away from the fact that it doesn't really matter who's reporting it or how reputable they are. It's Rudy Giuliani. He works for the President of the United States.
Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani claims presidential election will be overturned. Now, this is the New York Post.
You gotta love my boy H.A. Goodman. You gotta love him because he's doing his job and he does it well, man. If he didn't do his job well, he wouldn't have 154,000 subscribers on YouTube. He wouldn't have 2,000, 3,000 people watching him when he goes live on YouTube every show. And he does. He has thousands of people watching him. So he knows what he's doing and he knows what he's saying. He's a smart guy. That's why you have to pay attention to me so I can kind of walk you through the straw manning that he's doing. And he's doing a very good job. He's one of the best straw man builders I've ever seen, actually. Better than David Pakman. Way better than David Pakman. You know why? Because H.A. Goodman's straw man is built out of facts. It doesn't make it stronger, but it might fool more people. David Pakman's all his straw men are built out of his opinion. It usually equals nothing. It collapses on arrival. You know, H.A. Goodman builds a strong fucking straw man. He does. You're gonna have to huff and puff a little bit to blow his house down, but I'm telling you, it's easy to knock it down if you just pay attention to what he's not telling you. Okay, he excludes information. Oh, this was a New York Post thing. Yeah, you know, it's just really Rudy Giuliani said it. It's not facts.
I'm reading this from the New York Post. President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, on Sunday insisted that the presidential election would be overturned, claiming he had evidence that corrupt machines had deleted millions of votes for Trump but couldn't share it.
Millions, but he can't share it.
Now, Adam Schiff, for 4 years, said he had something in between circumstantial and direct. Dianne Feinstein stated there was no direct evidence. They utilized McCabe, Comey, Strzok, Clapper, Brennan, all of them utilized They
are trying to offer evidence they don't have, but to say it's there, and they're trying to start something. They're all working. He says the Democrats all work together to steal this election. Well, all of these Republicans and the Republican pundits, they're all working really hard together to try to overturn this election. And even H.A. Goodman is working right along with them, and he's actually a driving force. If they listened to H.A. Goodman, they would probably overturn the fucking election. You know, but luckily they don't act on what he says. Lucky for all of us.
That was literally purchased by Clinton, Trump's direct political
Cheers,
rival.
no law regarding
Complete
cannabis.
nonsense. They used that as circumstantial evidence. They used an ellipsis within the transcript of a conversation with President Zelensky of Ukraine as evidence.
Hey,
they used,
Billy, what's up, buddy?
People they viewed to be whistleblowers, disgruntled, or government officials who didn't like President Trump's foreign policy. That was evidence. A whole bunch of academics that said Trump should be impeached. That was evidence. Every single day for 4 years, they fabricated evidence in the form of very weak and suspect circumstantial evidence.
Huh.
But we have 400 affidavits, to 12,000 incident reports, and then now 2,600 votes just miraculously found in Georgia. And why did I start this segment? I understand people are annoyed, or some people, wonderful people, are annoyed and say, H.A., why do you keep talking about Bernie Sanders? Because if you don't put a mirror, if the Democrats don't see themselves within a mirror, or if the country doesn't
H.A. Goodman forgets. He's got a ton of Trump supporters that watch him and love him. When he starts talking about Bernie Sanders and that he supported Bernie Sanders and blah, 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 it confuses them. His audience starts getting confused. And if you read the chat when he starts talking about Bernie Sanders, it's funny to see how they start getting mad. They start saying, he was a socialist. Why were you watching him? What were you thinking, H.A. Goodman? I can't watch this guy anymore. All the time. If he mentions Bernie Sanders. Because the whole socialism thing. That's so bad. It's such a bad thing. And, the best thing I think that governments had ever come up with was that mix that the United States has between socialism and democracy. So they call it a social democracy, right? That's what we basically have. And I think it's fantastic. I think it works great. I don't want to go full socialism. I don't. But I think a couple more social programs aren't going to kill us. Literally, they would do the opposite. Healthcare for all, save our lives. Everybody deserves healthcare. A universal basic income. I don't need a goddamn penny from the government, but I know a lot of you do. Press number 1 if you could use universal basic income. If you would like to get a check from the government every month for, say, $1,000, and you think that would help you out, raise your hand. I don't need it, but you know what? I'm not going to refuse $1,000. I'm not a fucking idiot. UBI just makes fucking sense. Everybody should get an extra $1,000 every month. Everybody. You know how much good we could do? Everybody could do so much good. You could feed yourselves. You could feed your families. Oh, Combs, Brian, he agrees. Yeah, you could use an extra $1,000. Well, that's a socialist idea. And like I said, so is the United States Postal Service. So is, our schools and the police and the fire departments and Social Security and a lot more. And, people just seem to forget that really quick when they're listening to Donald Trump. It's 420, guys. We need to smoke.
What Democrats do to their own candidates, they won't understand what they've been trying to do to President Trump. Everything they did to Trump, everything they did to the president, from accusing him of working with Russia to trying to cheat him in 2020, to fabricating quotes, to saying he said things that never happened, to utilizing anonymous sources in almost every article about Trump. Every single thing that they did to this president, they tried out on Bernie Sanders. The difference is that Bernie was okay with it, and he has no fight in him. And I thought that Bernie Sanders was an anti-war president. He's gotten in bed with the same neoconservatives that propped up Biden. The Medicare for All people, first of all, aren't even going to get Medicare for All with Biden. He would veto it. But they voted alongside the Lincoln Project people, the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld neoconservatives.
For what?
So you have to ask yourself, the American left, first of all, really doesn't exist. But if people say, well, there's a left in the United States of America, the Lincoln Project, Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, the foreign policy hawks of the 2000s Republicans have now joined forces with Democratic Socialists. Does that make any sense to anybody? If you're in another country watching, does the left in your country align itself with military hawks? Well, in our country, that's what took place. President Trump has set the groundwork to bring home Americans.
I don't know. Let me check.
If Biden successfully cheats, like the DNC primary, and he eventually becomes president, if that happens, because we still have legal challenges, we still have the Supreme Court needs to having to weigh in Pennsylvania, we still have 400 affidavits, 12,000 incident reports. Now we have Rudy Giuliani saying he has evidence that he can't disclose.
Got it.
Exactly
Victoria.
What Adam Schiff was saying, but Adam Schiff was not only given the time of day, everything he said, he was on CNN and MSNBC like 200 to 300, like 250 plus times. And they obsessed over every word pertaining to Trump, Russia. And when he said, well, he has evidence, but he can't show anybody, they said, okay, really? We'll just wait. But it's Rudy Giuliani now, used to be America's mayor. How quickly Democrats forget. But he has evidence. They don't want to hear about it. In fact, they don't even want to hear about the 400 affidavits or the 12,000 incident reports.
And that's what
whistleblowers in Pennsylvania.
That's what I want to hear about, H.A. He mentions those all the time. I'm going to have it memorized out. Now, I have a problem with numbers, but he says, how many incident reports? How many affidavits? Let's count that up.
Giuliani now used to be America's mayor. How quickly Democrats forget. But He has evidence. They don't want to hear about it. In fact, they don't even.
You know, a lot of people fall from grace when they support Donald Trump and his lies and things like that. And that's something that H.A. Goodman, he's like, I don't understand that Giuliani used to be, he plays dumb. I don't understand that Giuliani used to be America's mayor. And now he's fallen from grace with America. I don't understand that. Well, I understand it, H.A. Why is that so hard to see? He's affiliated himself with Donald Trump. And you'll notice that everybody hates Donald Trump too. Well, not everybody. I mean, he's got his 3 million supporters or however many people that is. And that's fine. There's anybody who aligns themselves with the man, the left is repulsed by. And it's obvious why, because Donald Trump lies to people. He lies all the time, and that's very disrespectful. You don't ever want to talk about his lies. You don't want to talk about his handling of COVID. Those are two really big, important. People don't like that, HA. You know, people don't like that. They don't like his poor handling of COVID. They don't like the way he's lied about so many things and lied about COVID. He told America that it was going to be gone by Easter. That was April, man. Do you remember us in April? And you remember what I was telling my audience in April? Don't leave your homes, guys. Don't go to these fucking stupid churches, guys. Go back and watch, HA. I tried to help my audience. I wonder where you were with that when Trump was telling everybody to go out and celebrate Easter. And the pews will be filled with people. And they will all be celebrating Easter on Easter Sunday. I think Easter Sunday is a good day. So hard to find that actual clip now.
Even want to hear about the 400 affidavits.
400 affidavits.
Or the 12,000 incident reports.
12,000 incident reports. Okay. That means that 12,000 incidents occurred, not of voter fraud, of a vote coming in and the ballot having something wrong with it. That's the incident, not voter fraud. So somebody forgot, they forgot to sign something. They forgot to do something right. They got their address wrong when they were writing their address down or something, which I don't think you have to do on most ballots. You check two things on the same, you check both, you hit both Trump and Biden. You filled both in. You used the wrong you used a pencil and it got smeared. You didn't color it in enough. Those are incidents. Not incidents of voter fraud, incidents of a mistake on a ballot. But he doesn't want to tell you that. 400 affidavits? What were those affidavits saying, HA? That they found one ballot that was bad? That they know of one incident that was bad? I don't think you're going to overturn any state on that evidence alone. Personally, I'm no expert.
Or the two whistleblowers in Pennsylvania that, along with the sworn affidavits they signed under penalty of perjury.
2 sworn affidavits. Okay, 2 people.
As with the 400 other people.
Yeah, 400 other people that I don't know what they're talking about or where that's coming from.
380 or 90 plus other people. You have allegations of backdating of ballots. You have allegations of statistical anomalies. Democrats have yet to, Jake Tapper at CNN has yet to even discuss statistical anomalies. Like, for example, the ballot rejection rate.
I wonder if H.A. Goodman would be able to admit that the mail has been slow since Donald Trump fucked it up. And backdating ballots would be fair for people considering that Donald Trump is the one who fucked up the mail. Is that worth discussing? If Donald Trump dicked with the USPS, then isn't it only fair that they backdate ballots and give people some extra time since Donald Trump is the one who slowed the mail down? These are facts. This is not an opinion, guys. You can't come in and argue this point with me. Donald Trump deliberately slowed the mail down. He thought he was playing 3D chess. And people saw what he was doing, and they're like, you know what? Fuck him. I'm going to mail in a fucking vote. Like the Democrats are telling me to do. Millions and millions of people agreed.
in Georgia is a great deal less than it was even in 2018. And now we have 2018 in the midterms, it was like around 3%. It's now less than a percent, something, a fraction of 1%. And so, and that's according to the Georgia GOP. How does that work when you flood Georgia full of mail-in ballots? And how does it, and you go to Target Smart, I'm not making anything up. Go to Target Smart and go to early voting Target Smart. This is the data analytics company that NBC News used, and I keep talking about this. Republicans outperformed in Georgia and Arizona and Texas and Arizona. They did better than Democrats. So where did the votes come from? If early voting, according to Target Smart, showed that Republicans basically did better than Democrats, where did these votes come from for him to suddenly miraculously come back?
Find a legitimate.
Could it be that there's more?
I wonder if we could find a legitimate article on the internet that would explain to us how Donald Trump interfered with the USPS. All right, let's see. How Trump interfered. I spelled that wrong. With USPS. I spelled interfered correctly. Trump, this was August 13th, 2020. Trump admits he is undermining USPS to make it harder to vote. This is The Guardian. Politico, how Trump's attack on the post office could backfire. That's from August. American Oversight, Business Insider, Forbes, separating fact from fiction on Trump and the post office. President Donald Trump said Thursday that he would block a funding boost for the USPS to handle an expected flood of mail-in ballots. Huh. That's Forbes. I trust them. I mean, I don't want to get you guys one-sided. NPR. I don't want to. August 13th, 2020. Donald Trump said Thursday that he opposes much-needed funding for the United States Postal Service. And this is CNN.com, so I don't want to read that to you because I know everybody's like, oh, CNN, nah, 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 nah. So we've got The Guardian, we've got Politico, we've got AmericanOversight.org, we've got BusinessInsider.com. Trump is hurting U.S. Postal Service, a lifeline for Americans. That's from September. We've got August, though. Let's go back to August from The Guardian. Let's go back. Let's click this one and see what it says, okay? This is theguardian.com. It says, Trump admits he's undermining USPS to make it harder to vote by mail. The president says he opposes providing additional money to the Postal Service to help it deliver mail-in ballots. If they don't get extra funding for states and the USPS, this is a quote from Donald Trump, that means you can't have universal mail-in voting because they're not equipped to have it. He's such a dick. It was in an interview with Maria Bartiromo on Fox Business, and Donald Trump said, they need that money in order to have the post office work so it can take all of these millions and millions of ballots. If they don't get those two items, that means you can't have universal mail-in voting because they're not equipped to have it. He didn't want them to have it. He don't want universal mail-in voting, man. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Because more people would vote. And it's fact, I've told you guys this for months. It's a fact that when the United States has votes, when more people vote, it tends to go Democratic. The more people that vote, the more votes go Democratic. It's just the way it's been for a long time. He knew that. It's a fact, you know, and the people that work for him knew that. So they've been gerrymandering, they've been dicking with the USPS, they've been trying to slow that vote down as much as they can to get as few people to vote in that election so that they could win. But for them to act like they haven't been doing it now, it's beyond the pale is a statement I would like to say. It's beyond the pale.
More than just one glitch or one person who forgot to enter 2,600 votes. This is like
hey, Scott.
Or by 1,000 cuts. I don't want to use the word algorithm, but here it's it's
that
it's
sucks,
a 1,000
sorry, buddy. It's fucking horrible.
Ways or 1,000 different times. So let's say you have 2,600 votes that just miraculously appear in Georgia. Well, how many times did that happen in Pennsylvania? How many times did that happen in Arizona?
Okay.
How many times did that happen in Nevada?
Okay.
And Michigan?
Great. Okay. You got affidavits from all those places? Do you have incident reports from all those places? Oh, that's right. You don't. So he's saying because something happened in one state, they found 2,600 votes. I mean, okay, let me ask you guys a question. All right. The total votes, just for the sake of argument, was over 140 million votes. We all know that. It was well over this number. Okay, so way more than 140 million Americans voted in this election. Are any of you guys concerned? When there's that many people voting?
You have 2,600 votes.
With 2,600 votes that turned up all of a sudden. And, okay, fine. You want to go through them and see how those people voted? Fine. You want to say they didn't make it in time to count? Fine. But, you know, you could count them or you could throw them away. I don't give a fuck about those 2,600 votes. You know why? Because those 2,600 votes wouldn't change anything in this election. We're dealing with over 140 million votes. You know, that extra 2,600 votes, you know what I would say? Because of what Donald Trump did with the USPS, and it's proven, you can just go ahead and start counting those votes. All 2,600 of them. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with them counting those. Dude, you're dealing with 140 million votes. I'm sure some of them got misplaced. You're dealing with 140 million plus votes, right? And a postal service that Donald Trump just took a goddamn wrecking ball to. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you guys not see that they were literally removing blue boxes? One of mine had a fucking notice on it. I don't even know if it's still there. I never went back and checked. They said they were going to get rid of it. It's probably gone.
Just miraculously appear in Georgia. Well, how many times did that happen in Pennsylvania? How many times did that happen in Arizona? How many times did that happen in Nevada? And Michigan, we already have a whistleblower in Detroit.
Okay,
Mark McDaniel has talked about a whistleblower in Detroit. A
whistleblower. Someone has talked about a whistleblower. Isn't that weird? That's kind of anecdotal or it's kind of offered evidence that's not really there, huh? One whistleblower. What are they going to say? Out of the 140 million votes that went in, what are they going to say? You know, I think it's more like 150 million, guys. I think it's 150 million people voted in this election. You know, let me count the numbers. I'm going to go ahead just because I can. I've got the access to do that. So let's just go ahead. Okay. I was going to say, do I still have my calculator open? Is that my calculator right there? No. Let's type this in. That's we go to ABC for these numbers. They have a really nice graph with the numbers. The numbers are still coming in, guys. By the way, they're still counting votes. So Biden is up to 78,893,805, and Donald Trump is up to 73,242,910 votes. So that's roughly a difference of almost 0.6, I believe, 5.6 million. But anyhow, I'm going to add these two together first. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Okay, we're going to add 78,893,805 plus, okay, those were all Joe Biden's votes, 78 point, almost 9 million, 78 point, he's almost at 79 million, guys. The president to receive the candidate to receive the most votes ever in the history of an election in the United States of America. Fucking Joe Biden, is this crazy? Plus 73,242,910 votes for Donald Trump. That equals a total. Wow, I was right. 152,136,715 votes. So over 150 million people voted in this fucking election. Do you think that those few votes really fucking matter? 100 out of 150 million votes. Do you think those votes are going to make a difference? Just talk about a whistleblower. Is there a whistleblower? Yeah, someone's talking about a whistleblower. I don't know. Let's hear what he has to say.
So if it's a whistleblower to impeach President Trump, oh my God, they elevate two people. They are now in the Hall of Fame of Democratic politics. You know, oh my goodness, you're so amazing. And the Washington Post, the New York Times, and all of these people. And it's interesting how, like,
Ants, it's a good question. Ants, it's a fair question. Do you think that we should have better security? And the answer is, this was the most secure election in the history of the United States presidential elections, they said. Most secure election. No, we don't need better security. We're doing great. You know, if you want to have both Republicans and Democrats at the ballot, making sure to checking each other, I have no problem with that. That's what they did this go. They had both Democrats and Republicans at as many polling stations as they could. They were there. They were able to check it as it happened. Nobody was complaining about it anywhere. They have no incidents. And, you know, a lot of these are people that are just devout Donald Trump supporters that are willing to take the risk and lie to try to make that narrative to push Donald Trump forward, because they probably think that if they're the people that are doing it, Donald Trump will become president again and he will pardon all of them. That they will all get pardons, right? For helping him become president. Help with mail-in ballots were sitting in mailboxes with no security watching. Huh? Yeah, and those are secure. Those are envelopes that are sealed, bro. Do you understand that? What should have happened? I agree with that. Only one voter fraud, and it was a... No, that's what did happen, Ants. That's what did happen. It's not what should have happened. It's what did. Most secure election in history, bro. Go do some research.
The New York Times. And the Wikipedia pages don't list the fact that they had to settle with Nicholas Sandmann. Like, not in the beginning of the description, at least. Or that there are a great number of headlines that had to be retracted in the past 4 years. Or that, I mean, it's just really interesting. It's a side note.
Right. This really doesn't have anything to do with what
any allegations was a conservative, any hit piece written against the conservative publication, that's within the first paragraph of what you read about that publication in Wikipedia. It's really interesting. But definitely no disparaging details about any of the top publications that just miraculously always side with Democrats. It's interesting. But
They're run by Democrats. He said it.
I have no clue exactly what Rudy Giuliani has. What
Of course you don't.
That nothing makes any sense.
And you're running out of time.
You don't. You
It
can't
doesn't make sense.
possibly
Of course-
dominate on election day.
Of course it doesn't make sense. But what he's going to say, he says over and over and over again. He's going to say it again. You can't dominate on election day and then suddenly the day after come back and win in a landslide. That's impossible. It's an impossibility. We've already explained how that worked. They counted the walk-in votes first. That's why Donald Trump was ahead. The mail-in ballots came. He was telling, everybody, he was attacking the USPS. People were angry about it. They said, we're going to use the USPS. We're going to support the USPS and vote against you because you are un-American in what you're doing. You're not supporting the vote. You're not trying to get as many people to vote in America as possible. That's un-American. People didn't like it, so they voted against him. I mean, his handling of COVID was horrible. He lies a lot. And he fucking laughed about COVID. He laughed, COVID. It's all you hear. Their plane goes down, 500 people die. Oh, they don't talk about that. They only talk about COVID. It's not a joke. That's not presidential. People got sick of that kind of behavior.
Do better, outperform your 2016 performance as President Trump, and then go up against somebody who underperformed, but yet got more votes. So Biden underperformed. Democrats underperformed. The polls were completely wrong. President Trump is crushing it and dominating on election night. You could have done what I did on election night, in addition to celebrate on this channel, which rightfully so, I'm 2-0 in elections. I accurately predicted that Clinton would lose to President Trump in 2016.
Yes.
You can see that on hagoodman.com.
And
it's me versus all the media pundits and polling experts.
This is really painful.
It's a segment where I'm right and they're wrong. And then you can also see that I said that President Trump would win on election night. He did.
No, he didn't. He said he would. He didn't say he would win on election night.
Nonsense.
He didn't say he would win on election night. What he said was that Donald Trump won the election. The video is there, and you guys can all go watch the video. Okay, he's lying right now. He's totally lying.
Of counting ballots a week after the election, or a day or two after the election, miraculously. And I started off because
the most votes to ever come in for an election, 150 million. It takes more time. More votes, more time. Does that make sense to you guys? Why did it take more time to count these votes? Because there were more votes. Would more votes take more time to count? Yes. What happens after the first 24 hours? Another day. And then you keep counting ballots. What happens after that? Another day. And then you keep counting the ballots until they're all counted. They're still counting the ballots. Literally, they are still counting the ballots. 97% of expected vote is reporting in. There's still 3% hasn't reported in yet, guys. It's becoming a landslide.
With Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the DS.
And it's like someone is slowly killing H.A. Goodman inside. Slowly. And he can feel it, and it's killing him. And all he can do is just try to strawman his way through it.
The emails, because it's just miraculous, A lot of people
like Trump's
don't realize what it was like.
His way
in
to a
2016.
dictatorship, right, Anthony? Right?
Conservatives,
Oh,
this
Anthony,
may be
he's
the
a big
first
boy. He
time
can speak for himself.
That you've seen a candidate cheated in this
I
manner.
think H.A. will stay for the whole interview next Monday.
So it's very
important.
Yeah,
bro.
In 2016,
I disagree with H.A. Goodman when I'm not talking to H.A. Goodman. I'm not bringing him on my show to tell him all the things that I disagree with him on. That's what these shows are for. And you can all watch and listen. And no, I'm going to ask him really good, Just like any other fucking interview. I'm not really interested in the reasons why H.A. Goodman says or does the things that he says or does. I used to think it meant that he was bought or paid off. Well, he makes a lot of money in super chats. And if he's saying what people want to hear, and they're giving him, when I tuned in last night, there was a $100 super chat up and a $10 super chat up. Definitely. I saw that and I was like, wow, dude. So I'm not even coming in and tipping him $100. I'm like, God damn. The man makes money with this narrative. If he has to tell a little lie every once in a while to justify adults, where the fuck have you been? To make that money, I understand. I see who his audience is. His audience has gone from a Bernie Sanders, a very socialist-based audience, people who want to help everybody, to the exact opposite, Republican-based, people who want to hoard all of the resources for themselves and not share any of it with the underprivileged or people that don't belong here. So there's 4.5 million votes that are still coming in. Dolch, that's crazy. That's 3% of 150 million. So that's it will be a landslide victory when they're done. And he knows it. And more votes takes more time, HA. That's why it takes so long. I hope I answered that question.
They were saying, well, where's the evidence Bernie was cheated? Where's that? Oh, no, he wasn't cheated, no. And then the DNC email said, oh my God, it was 4 years, Trump, Russia, oh my God. So then W. Wasserman Schultz resigned. They cheated their own candidate. What makes anyone think they wouldn't cheat President Trump? That's the point. That is the most important thing here, not just the fact that Rudy Giuliani has stated he has evidence, or Trump's legal team has evidence to overturn the election. That's not the most important point here. He might have evidence, he might not have evidence. The 400 affidavits and the 12,000 incident reports and the whistleblower testimony has to be heard in Congress. And Lindsey Graham has to do his job in the Senate Judiciary Committee. And this has to be litigated for the next 4 years if they get away with this. Because they're asking for ironclad proof at this very moment when they didn't utilize that standard with Trump, Russia, or impeachment. They impeached Trump without direct evidence. They indicted people on process crimes. Nobody was ever charged with conspiring with Russia because they fabricated the whole thing. That's obvious. Everyone knows this. They still can't prove Trump, Russia. They didn't impeach him on Trump, Russia, and Mueller himself stated the evidence was insufficient. Because guess what? The evidence not only was insufficient, it was fabricated.
Hey, Carson.
But they want within the span of not even 2 weeks.
Doc, you and me both, Doc. We were both feeling the burn,
they
bro.
We're feeling the burn, no more investigations. That's it. And election integrity, if you doubt it, you are a horrible human being, conspiratorial. They spent 4 years trying to undermine the results of 2016. Then the rebuttal is, oh, well, we accepted the results. No, you didn't. Why? Because you had to concede because Trump won fair and square, and you couldn't say that he cheated you when he didn't? President Trump then and the past 4 years had 92% negative media coverage, and he still got 73 million voters. Biden was propped up like a newborn baby quail. Like this, they enveloped Biden, this cloak, this protective cloak, where they wouldn't even address the most horrendous and incriminating news story of corruption and the most amazing scandal of all time. A son who's a former drug addict leaves a laptop at a computer repair store. You couldn't even make it up. It's so absurd.
420 Newfoundland, no longer regarding cannabis. Cannabis isn't for all. Cyber style. Cheers, everybody.
They would actually look at the emails that Biden's campaign did not refute, did not say it wasn't his son Caligula's emails. They didn't say that. They acknowledged it was. They almost they gave tacit acknowledgement to those emails being accurate because they didn't say the emails were fabricated or hacked by Russia or whatever. And those emails and correspondence showed pay to play. He sold out the United States government. He sold out the vice presidency for monetary gain. And this is the man that they possibly cheated for. This is the man in 47 years from a criminal justice from a crime bill that started mass incarceration with a 100-to-1 sentencing disparity, targeting people of color in a ratio of 100-to-1 for the same narcotic, just prepared differently. That one that his son uses, by the way, or used, and then voting to destroy, and then pushing to destroy Libya with Clinton and President Obama, and this is the person that that was so popular, a guy who couldn't fit a phone booth, a guy with mashed potato brains who slurs his speech and is as inspiring as watching paint dry. Paint watches him dry, he's so boring. This man looks like an exhumed body and a cadaver that they propped up. They got Botox and plastic surgery and plugs, hair plugs.
Anecdotal. I mean.
But anyway,
straw manning.
Aside from their fantastic imaginary president-elect, who, by the way, is not... This election, the legal challenges are still ongoing. This is why President Obrador of Mexico, and God bless the Mexican president, he did the right thing in not congratulating Botox being the exhumed body. He did the right
thing. Doesn't matter. Straw manning.
Because President Trump is on his way to coming back, can definitely come back. It's an uphill battle. The odds are not in his favor.
Right there. Whoa! Whoa! There it is. He said it again.
Then they definitely have.
He says it again.
That points to, like, it's an uphill battle. The odds are not in his favor. President Trump is on his way to coming back, can definitely come back. It's an uphill battle. The odds are not in his favor. Because President Trump is on his way to coming back, can definitely come back. It's an uphill battle. The odds are not in his favor. It's an uphill battle. The odds are not in his favor. But if regional, the odds are not in his favor. 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 The odds are not in his favor.
When H.A. Goodman says that on his live stream, his audience goes fucking crazy on him. They get so angry. He's sending a message to people like me and all of you. He's saying he knows. He knows. He's making money on this podcast, saying the things that he's saying. And it's like smoking crack. If you guys have ever gotten addicted to a drug before, or a food, or you've had some kind of an unhealthy addiction, to him, people are giving him money for it. And every time he hits those notes, it's such a sweet melody for the Trump supporting audience, because it validates their opinions that everybody on social media is telling them is just not factual. They come on here, they've got a champion. They have a badass to sit there and tell them that they're right, and that all of these things do add up to another 4 years. And then out of the other side of his mouth, there he is saying it's an uphill battle. Chances are not in his favor. And, he says it.
But if regional, the odds are not in his favor. The odds are not in his favor. The odds are not in his favor.
It's pretty blatant, right?
But if Rudy Giuliani is correct, then they definitely have
I love that.
evidence.
I love it. I love it.
Points to.
Then he says, but if Rudy Giuliani is correct, and we all know, and he knows that we and my audience know, right? That Rudy Giuliani is fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Everybody knows that. If you think that Rudy Giuliani has literally lost his mind, press number 1. If you think that Rudy Giuliani has lost his mind and is dangerous for Donald Trump because he feeds Donald Trump's dangerous ego, press number 1. All right? Well, I want to see how many of you guys realize that Rudy Giuliani has flipped his fucking lid. Karsten knows.
Democrats.
Karsten from Germany knows.
Engage in a DNC
Doc
primary,
knows.
but
Jennifer knows.
Much wider scale. Give me your thoughts below.
Please go support. Go support this guy.
Of a 9-inning ball game.
Look, support this guy.
Rudy Giuliani claims presidential election will be overturned.
He's going to be our biggest asset, guys. I know what you're all thinking right now. You're like, dude, he's a Trump supporter. What the fuck are you doing? Once Donald Trump slithers away, and which is what he's going to do, and he no longer has Donald Trump to support, he is going to go fully attack Joe Biden, and he will be able to help us because he will be uncovering all of the dirt, all of the things that we need for ammunition to help us push that motherfucker left towards universal basic income, towards Medicare for all. Those are things you guys should want. No matter what Donald Trump has put into your fucking brains, you know? So fucking
President Trump's
detrimental.
Attorney Rudy Giuliani on Sunday insisted that the presidential election would be overturned, claiming he had evidence that corrupt machines had deleted millions of votes for Trump but couldn't share it.
The machines.
Give your thoughts below.
The machines have corrupted.
And then you have the FEC chairman, the Federal Election Commission chairman, saying using the word illegitimate for the election.
The FEC chairman that Donald Trump hired, he appointed, he is Donald Trump's subservient. He is his employee. Donald Trump is his boss. What and what did that guy say?
And siding with Sidney Powell. Share it. Give me your thoughts below.
Right here.
And then you have the FEC chairman, the Federal Election Commission chairman, saying using the word illegitimate for the election and siding with Sidney Powell.
The guy that Donald Trump appointed. The guy with the picture of Trump 2020 poster that I showed you. Remember that? That guy? Remember that guy? Yeah, Google that guy. He's a huge Trump supporter. He's siding with Trump, man. The federal guy, the federal election chairman, he's siding with Trump. It's so fair, man. It's such a fair thing, right?
So let's put it this way. If Democrats get away with this, it'll be a Pyrrhic victory. They'll get crushed in the House in the midterms, and impeachment will be like the next day.
I hope so. Impeach him.
Their wonderful president-elect, who is playing president-elect now.
Waste your money.
You have to ask, well, how did this man get so many votes when he couldn't fit a phone booth? And don't talk about the pandemic. Even without the pandemic, can you imagine crowds listening to this man? No. And so you have a person who is utterly corrupt, went from $200,000 in financial net worth to well over $10 million. And then,
10 million.
And then
straw man.
You have a story that was completely suppressed by every major news publication that will haunt this person if he does become
straw
president for 4 years.
Once again, has nothing to do.
Years.
Whatever the press
did have. Tony Bubalas, and there'll be more people coming out of the scene.
Donald Trump bragged.
Give me your thoughts, Blood. Go on forever.
Donald Trump bragged that he had more money than anybody to do an election. He said, when I run for president of the United States, I've got my own money. I'm going to spend my own money. I'm going to take my money, and I'm going to have more advertising and more billboards and signs and advertisements and promotion. I'm a promoter. I'm a businessman. I'm gonna and Joe Biden didn't do shit like that, and he didn't need to. How much of Donald Trump's money do you think he spent?
Channel, let's get to 200,000 subscribers. Thank you so very much. And ladies and gentlemen, if Rudy Giuliani has that evidence, it's game over for Democrats. Give me.
If Rudy Giuliani has that evidence, do you guys think Rudy Giuliani, the guys you all said flipped his shit, has evidence that he's not producing? I mean, isn't time of the essence? Isn't this evidence that you should want to get out there right now? What would be the advantage of not putting the evidence out there if you had it? Oh, I know. There is no evidence. There's no evidence. There's nothing. You know, every state that has reported in what's been a battleground state for Donald Trump and Joe Biden has reported in and said they've had very little incident, if any, of reports of voter fraud. Very, very few. Everything's gone really smoothly. Hi, how's it going? Is Gary around? Thank you. Really, Gary? He's a busy guy. He's a busy Gary. Give me the good news, Gary. Give me the good news, buddy. I will load up my doggy. We'll head out. And the rocks are riding. The rocks are. You know, it's funny. His ears are straight up, but I think he's sleeping. His ears just point upward, you know. Not by you yet, sir. This is Ben Shader. Hey, how are you? If you got the 35s, are those there? Okay. I mean, I think it's going to be different all the way around, right? From front to back isn't going to be a little different. We got to put them at least 2 on, or not? Or you're only worried about the front? Okay. Yeah, check, because man, that's a brutal 40 miles for me in that Jeep. Thanks, brother. Right. Yeah, right, sure. They're beautiful too, like you said. They look great. Yep. Yeah, I'll just come back and cry. Are you still there? Oh, I think he said just a second. Got cut off. He got caught up. He's gonna check to make sure they painted the backside of the rims, man. I ain't driving 40 miles again. It's fucking bitter cold outside. You hit this valley and the whole windshield fogs up. I don't have a fucking windshield wiper. It's scary. It is fucking scary. The sun coming through. Oh, thank you so much, sir. Okay. Bye. He said, "Come on down! You're going to get rims and tires." We got to make sure they fit. So, you guys know what I got to do. I got to do what I got to do. We got an hour down. What? Unreal, pal. Nobody does an hour anymore, pal. Nobody's even doing it. What are you talking about? Come on down, da 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 da. Bum bum ba ba. I gotta still figure out why my fucking thing is skipping third gear. I've got so many. There's so many different things it could be. There's this one guy. He's like, dude, my Roxor was doing that too. He said after I had it tuned by this guy, this one company, he said I sent it to Diesel Freak. And Diesel Freak fucking retuned my shit, and it fixed the third gear fucking slip part. The tune. The guy who fixed it said the tune's really got nothing to do with the gearing. So I got another guy that's saying, no, he fixed my fucking slipping third gear. I'm like, I don't know what to do, man. You know? Fuck, I'm so goddamn excited. Have you guys seen my party socks? Yeah, when I'm happy, I put on my party socks. Psst, don't even go there, pal. Psst, don't even try it. I've got to put on my good socks. I got to put on my good socks. What are you talking about? Nobody's even doing that anymore, pal. Unreal. What are you doing? Nobody's even doing that. What are you doing, pal? Nobody does it like that. Unreal. What are you gonna put your hoodie on, pal? Unreal. Nobody's even doing that. Nobody's trying to put the hoodie on, pal. Look at you. Look at you. It's got your own face on it, pal. What are you wearing, a hoodie with your own face? That's so classless. Nobody even does that. Oh, so classless, pal. What are you doing? Nobody's even doing that. Nobody's even trying to do that anymore, pal. What are you doing, pal? Psh, unreal. Psh. I'm up here, pal. I gotta reside up here. That's why I need all this space. You know what I mean? I reside up here. Psh. You know what I mean? Most guys are down here. Not me, pal. I'm way up here, pal. You know what I mean? Psh. 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 Oh, look whose eye is open and spying his daddy put on full going out garb. Ba-bum, ba-bam, ba-dum-da-da. Right in the Roxer, the Roxer, the Roxer, the Roxer with Rogie. Right in the Roxer, riding in the Roxer with Rogie. Riding in the Roxer, the Roxer, the Roxer with Rogie. Riding in the Roxer, riding in the... Psst, nobody rides in the Roxer with Rogie anymore, pal. Sean Real, what are you doing? Nobody's even doing that. Nobody even does that anymore. What are you doing, pal? Nobody does it like that anymore, pal. Oh, come on down! We're gonna put some big fat rims and tires on your Jeep. Man. Oh, you're not gonna be able to bring it in your garage anymore. All right, man. Unreal, pal. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys had fun. I don't know why I left this up there. That was kind of stupid of me. But check out my friend Ron Placone, guys. RonPlacone.com, LucyandRon.com. Those are his two websites. Go there. Just out of curiosity, just go check them out. As well, you're going to want to go to his YouTube channel, which is Ron Placone. Make sure you subscribe and click all notifications, okay? Then you can go to his Twitter and you can tweet him articles that you see on the internet that are legit, from legit sources, and he will read them out on his show, and he'll give you he'll give you a shout for giving him that on the live stream. And he does thousands. He's a writer for the Jimmy Dore Show, a frequent guest on the Jimmy Dore Show. He's a stand-up comic. He's fantastic. He's a character actor. His Twitter feed is amazingly funny. His Instagram, Ron Placone. His Facebook, Ron Placone. He's a friend of the show, and he also uses triage oil. And I got an 8-ounce going out. I got to fill out. Somebody got an 8-ounce. I got the 8-ounce ready to go. I just have to box it. I need to do that. I should do that. Get that out the door. All right. Bye, guys. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. I think I should just go get my rims and tires and worry about the shipping thing later. I think that's what I'm going to do. I want to just go get this done. All right. Bye, guys. I'm going to go take care of me. I'll be right back. I'm just going to take care of me. I'm just going to take care of me. I'm just going to do me. I'm just going to do me for a minute. I'm just going to go do me. I'll be right back. I'm going to go do me. I'm going to take the dog. We're going to go do me.